Can we just touch on things? Will things open on time? You know, the latest dates for Broadway, because you did put that back. You did promise it initially. September, wasn't it?
So initially Broadway was due to open at the same time as Summerhill on the 8th of September. We looked at our options and we identified that actually it would be better to reinstate the two-way traffic on the prom, and as a consequence of that, we then rephased the work and pushed Broadway to a later opening date.
Do you regret giving these dates?
No, because you've got to have that clarity and you've got to have that drive. You know, you can't just say this will be open, you know, ahead of the tourists coming next year. That's vague. You've got, the whole intention was to provide focus and drive. Okay. And you know, I was delighted with Summerhill. The contractor moved heaven and earth to get it open on the 8th of September. The junction reopened at 2 a.m. because they've been working right through the night to deliver it, and that shows what's possible. We put these milestones in to really make sure there's focus and we're driving progress. It's how you manage major projects, and you also have to be realistic that things do change as you go along. So the ground conditions is the most obvious example, but you know, we can't control some aspects of the scheme. You have to evolve in the light of that.
All I'd say is, though, you give a date for Broadway, and I go past there all the time, and you go, well, this is clearly not going to happen. I mean, like, why have you even bothered saying it when there wasn't enough people working on the thing to make it happen, and it's still not there, as you know.
So the date for Broadway is at the end of this month. That's the date.
But it was in September.
Well, yeah, but we basically looked at where we were at, looked at the situation, and decided that actually it was, rather than reopening Broadway and still having a one-way system on the southbound part of the prom, it was better for the people of the Isle of Man.
So you just redeployed men in different directions.
Yeah,
for the work.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing is, it's not always just about the numbers of people that are working on it. Some of this stuff is really complex and requires a fine degree of attention to detail. So you can't just throw a whole load of people at it. So one of the big issues has been the gas main. The gas main is probably 80 plus years old. It's cast iron. It's not in great shape, which is why it had to come out. You know, we've
you knew that though, didn't you, in the first place? Or was that a new one that caught you out?
No. It obviously it was known the age of it, and it was known that it needed replacing. But it's only when you actually get into the ground you see how fragile it is. And one of the things you don't want to do is mess with something like gas, which potentially could have terrible consequences.
I'm sure you try and keep everyone connected as long as possible.
Well, you have to do, and that's again part of the challenge of this scheme is, you know, we're doing it in the heart of Douglas. We've got lots and lots of people living and working on the prom. It is probably the most challenging mix of characteristics that you could imagine. And I think at the start of the project, there was probably a desire to try and keep everybody happy, and clearly you can't do that. I think we've got the clarity now of where we're going with this. I think by and large, certainly all the business that I talk to when I do my regular prom walks, they totally buy into just get it finished.
Right. Well, there's another drop-in coming up on Friday soon. I think My Prom is the place they should go up with that.
Absolutely, yeah. My Prom website, and for people who are interested, there's the ability to sign up for the weekly updates. You know, that's going out to about 500 people every week. You know, the communication is there. A lot of it's quite complicated and quite detailed, but it's all there. The website is really the central reference point.